But when I dissect and I over dissect shows, and I watched it twice actually, the series, to really say this is really how I feel, and this is how I feel. Do you feel that some of the women in the house were intimidated or jealous of you, even though you weren't giving any of that? You weren't flaunting your beauty, none of that. Please give me your answer.
So that's such a good question. I'm gonna say yes because we even see it in the confessionals, right?
Mm-hmm.
What one of the other contestants says that she knows my type. She's triggered and threatened by me. Um, it's also not something new that I've dealt with throughout my entire life. It's just kind of
Wow.
one of those things. Even some of my best friends, they will be like, I thought you were going to be a total B when I first met you. Like, it's just
Interesting.
my face. Like, I'm actually a really nice person.
Yes.
And I felt, obviously I did kind of try to play up the Scottsdale bottle girl, seem unassuming.
Yeah.
But it still really bothers me when people just go off of outward appearance. So
100%. 100%. And that's what was annoying about me, because I said when you watch her, I had a rant. I said she didn't do anything. I've seen girls, even been around women who were like that, where you can say, okay, oh my God, but you didn't give any of that. In fact, you tried to go the opposite of that, I felt like, and just I didn't get it. You actually was a cool ass chick to me. You was a badass. And so I didn't understand it.
I was complimenting other cast members, calling the other women strong, saying they're contenders. Like, you're a threat. Like, you're dangerous.
Yep.
People said that about me. Highest compliment. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be viewed as like a weak player.
100%. Let's go. So what do you think okay, so with that being said, you got hate from the beginning, in my opinion. You didn't do anything. Even during the show when the hate was continuing, you still wasn't saying anything. There was no confession. There was no, ooh, I can't stand none of that. So how did that make you feel, honestly? Because to me, that's rough, in my opinion, for any human.
So I didn't even realize how much people were kind of gunning for me until you see the confessionals, right? Until you see the side conversation. So when you're in it, in my mind, I'm locked in, I'm playing this game. My goal is to win. I'm here to be a competitor. It is hard because you do start to form a bond with these people, but at the end of the day, one person can win and nothing's personal.
100%.
But there's a way to go about it without being nasty, and I never tried to be nasty. So seeing some of the conversations where, people are saying, Sydnee's going to hell on a scholarship, or just
horrible
things like that, where I was like, I don't think I was behaving that poorly. And I even had a moment, because episodes 1 through 3 dropped, and all of a sudden I got so much hate online. Like,
oh my God.
I had a small breakdown about it. I spiraled for like 5 hours, and I called my mom crying, and I was like, was I a mean girl? Because I've dealt with mean girls. Right. I never want to do that to anybody or make them feel that way. And she was like, no, like my mom would tell me too. She'd be the first one to call me up and be like, you had a nasty attitude. She didn't, there wasn't any of that. So it was really kind of confusing. And again, it's based off of like preconceived notions. Yeah. I had someone they commented and they said the world would be better off without me.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna say this. I've been doing this for a long time, and to me, that's why I got so upset behind it. I'm a first person to call out somebody who does something crazy on TV. I have a reputation for doing that. Period. And even on an interview, I do that. You can ask Kyle that from last night. So my whole thing is this: I didn't like it. It gave bully. I'm gonna be honest, Lydia. I'm just gonna say her name because she started the whole "let's go after Sydnee," and there was no reasoning behind it. From the first episode, she came for you, and the first episode is too early on any reality show or anything in life to even say, "Oh, this is a person I'm coming for." You didn't do anything. It gave bullying to me. This is Cameshiareviews saying this. It gave bullying to me. I didn't like it. I don't like the cool girls and all of that, because the name calling to me was very, and for the age that she is, and I'm not aging, I'm 48 years old. To me, for that age, no ma'am, that's not how we portray as a you're an older woman to be calling people names and stuff like that. That's like a high school thing. Like you triggered her for some reason. I don't know what that was. I don't know if she had issues in high school. I'm just being honest. I just don't get it. What do you think it was with Lydia that she came for you so nasty? Because she did come for you nasty.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised by that too when I was watching it back, because I didn't really have much interaction with Lydia. We didn't have really one-on-one conversations or anything like that. So I didn't know there were all these side conversations. I know that people had an issue with the whole me and Lauren thing. And yeah, Lauren wasn't the millionaire, but she was coming for me, and one of us had to go home. It wasn't going to be me. And that wasn't personal. Lauren did a great job as a millionaire. There was no bitterness. There was no jealousy on my end. It was, you are a threat and I can't trust you because you're not telling everyone everything. This is part of the game, right? We need to even the playing field. I didn't know people felt that strongly about it. Lydia being one of them was really upset about how things went down. And we never really got one-on-one time. Post show, she's told me, I'm going to teach you how to play poker. You would be great at that kind of stuff. But watching it back on the show, I really didn't have any idea the amount of times people were coming for me.
Yep.
Based off of, I wasn't the millionaire, I guess, based off of being a dangerous player and being competitive.
I feel like that Lauren and Lydia had some kind of thing. I don't know if Lauren had an issue when she was young as well, and maybe a woman like you gave her some kind of trauma. I don't know, but the two of those ladies came for you, and I feel like it was really nasty. Not only that, it came for Jamie as well. So it's just for me, I just didn't understand some of these things. Now, I want to ask you a question. The narrative that you weren't opening up, you think that was an excuse to target you for elimination?
So I do think, I do have RBF. But
Same here.
It's just my face again. I'm a really nice person. It does take me a lot to open up to people. And what I try to do is ask questions about other people, because like I said on the show, I know what it feels like to have nobody ask anything about you. Mm-hmm. And obviously they can't show everything, but I made sure to try to talk to almost everybody on that show. I think there was a couple people I didn't get to like early on, and learn about them, ask questions about them. Nobody tried to do that for me. And so we're also playing a game for $1 million based on lying, deception, and manipulation. I'm not just going to volunteer all of this information to you, because then that's going to seem as if I'm bragging or I'm talking about myself or I'm not listening to anybody else. Either way, I was in a lose-lose situation, I think.
I'm gonna tell you something right now, and this is what I said in my review. I said she should have just kept calling back, because you were reading the girls down. You're reading down, period. And I felt like you should have continued that entire time. That should have been your whole thing. It doesn't matter. You don't like me anyway, so I'm gonna come at y'all with the pow. I'm reading y'all all down. I'm gonna keep on winning. Now what? To me, that's how you should go going forward. It doesn't matter. So
yeah. I mean, if you're not gonna like me anyway at that point, I just have to keep doing my thing. And that's one thing I'm really proud of, the fact, when I first started out, my goal is to be more like Cara. Be quiet, be silent. I've done that my whole life. And it's exhausting.
It is.
Because in society, it's difficult for women to be strong. Like, if we're opinionated, we're bossy, we're nagging, we're all of these negative adjectives, where it wouldn't be that way for a guy.
Oh my God. Yes.
And so, she's being loud, she's being too much, she's being arrogant. No, I have opinions, and I'm usually right, actually. So I don't like to speak on things if I'm going to be very loudly wrong. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So you're going to, especially, and I hate to say it, but a lot of my friends go through it too. If you are what is considered a more attractive woman, because I believe everybody's beautiful, mostly from the inside out. You know what I mean? Like, if you're beautiful on the inside, it's shining outward. And you get in trouble for being pretty and smart and having an opinion or using your voice. So my goal was to stay small, stay shrunken, and I just couldn't do that. And I'm so glad that I did it.
Same here. I'm glad you did as well. And I wish you did a lot more, because they couldn't take you. They couldn't. So you were a true competitor and dominated most of the challenges. Do you regret winning so much, or do you stand by your performance as simply being a badass, respectfully?
No. I will take that all day long. I will never regret playing my best and winning. I am a competitor. I've played sports my entire life. I have been in the top of my classes my entire life. I'm not going to stop doing that, again, to make other people more comfortable. I couldn't throw a challenge. It's just not in me. I thought about it. I did think about it, and I was like, then you get into it and that instinct kicks in, and why lose?
Who would want to lose anyway? I mean, I'm not saying that everybody's going to win everything, but the thing of it was, you were dominating the competition, and some of it I understand, because when you're in a reality show or a competition period, the ones you want to take out are the ones who are winning. But This show is different. That's why I was confused by it, because it should have been the goal to get the millionaire. You weren't the millionaire. So to
Yeah,
me, it didn't make any sense to come after you when you weren't exhibiting any of the things that you, the millionaire, other people were. It was confusing to me.
because you didn't really get a whole lot of benefit from winning. A lot of the challenges were team challenges. I wish there would have been more one-on-one, but also you didn't really get a lot of benefit from winning the challenges.
Okay.
Because they would have never let me in the trophy room anyway.
Right.
So
Right, exactly. Like, so, like, for instance, when the situation with Phil happened, and I was confused when Phil was a millionaire, everybody figured out with the screen thing. Okay, cool, this is easy peasy. But yet we're saying we're gonna switch it up and then get rid of Sydnee. I was like, excuse me, I am so confused right now. So how do you feel about that? Because Kyle, who admittedly voted for you frequently, aligned with Lydia, like other men as well. What are your thoughts about that right now, Mama? Come on.
Kyle and I still have. Kyle owes me dinner. We're good now. But you know what? I texted him yesterday about it. I was like, remember all those times you voted for me and you were wrong?
Come on, steak and potatoes.
It was so interesting. That boy can cook too. So you know.
Oh, okay. I love that.
It was very interesting because everyone was so mad the day before about, not everyone, about getting Lauren out when she wasn't the millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So then you switch it up. There's a lot of hypocrisy. So then you're going to come for me every single episode when you know I'm not the millionaire.
Correct.
There was some hypocrisy I saw throughout the show with that, where even people would be like, oh, Sydnee's building, a lot of the fans, you know, Sydnee built alliances and that was wrong. And then it would switch to, well, Cara built alliances and was super smart.
You had two alliances. You had Chris and Jamie. That's
Yeah,
what I learned.
and we didn't even consciously form an alliance. That was, I didn't speak to Jamie till the third episode, one-on-one.
Okay.
I didn't speak to Chris till the fourth episode, one-on-one at that pool scene.
Oh, wow.
The three of us were able to communicate with nonverbal and looks and somehow be on the same page. It was not a conscious, I hate that, and they use the term the cool kids versus the uncool kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's self-proclaimed uncool kids.
Period.
Nobody thought that. I certainly never did.
Y'all weren't even talking about them. The crazy thing was she called you and Jamie drama queens. I can remember the word. Drama queens, you and Jamie. And then on top of the fact, saying you guys were the cool kids. But you guys were talking about them in a negative way, but y'all weren't saying anything negative by anyone. To me, that gave bullying and didn't make any sense. It didn't.
Well, it's so funny because even like a lot of the comments would be like, oh, she peaked in high school. And I was like, if you saw me in high school, trust me. Like, let me pull up some of those pics. We were not giving in high school.
Gotcha. See, they don't even know. They're just assuming. That's the crazy thing. I would love to see, no shade, Lydia and Lauren's picture in high school, because you guys are giving that either you guys were the ones in high school or you were not the one. Because I didn't understand how they kept coming for you. The girl's tall, she's blonde, and she's beautiful. She had no control over that. That's her mom and daddy thing. Y'all need to get off the gas.
Like, God bless them. It's the genetics. It's funny too because I'll see comments online and they're like, Sydnee has too much filler, and I'm like, joke's on you. My forehead moves. My lips are real. There's nothing here. Be mad about it.
Oh my God, I'm so interested. You better talk your noise, girl. Period. Because I don't like it. I love you because I think you're so genuine. You're the kind of girl I probably played basketball with when I was in high school.
Oh my God, basketball, volleyball, ran track.
I ran track too. See, I already knew it. I already knew. I said she's that girl I probably would have ran track with. I did shopping this because I didn't actually run track. I did like 200. That's about it. But anyway, you were probably that girl with me on the sideline saying, "Come on, Cameshiareviews, you got this." You know what I'm saying?
And I'm such a girl's girl. Like even my brand, my website, everything's about women empowerment. Again, inside out, right? I know what it feels like to be ostracized. I know what it feels like to not have a best friend. I didn't have a best friend growing up until recently, in all honesty. And it's hard, especially as a woman. Like, I never want anybody else to feel that way. I will never intentionally make another woman feel that way. And so, like, it's crazy. And that was the whole kind of like, I don't want to talk about it a whole lot, but Lauren and I had our conversation. I was like, I'm mad that people are underestimating you. That pisses me off.
Wow. You're a girl's girl, like you just said. Wow. See, this is the thing about it. For me, I don't like bullying. I don't like that. And I felt that you got some of that on this show. Whether they'll probably say they did not do that, but that's the narrative that was formed throughout the show because Lydia started it, Lauren also continued it, and so did some of the other people. And so to me, I feel like there was even Sam. It was bullying involved for no reason at all. I'm sorry. I understand we want to do a certain facade or a character, try to get the money. I understand that, but there was ways he could have done it without ostracizing you or bullying you. It was unnecessary, in my opinion. It was meaningless to the show. You just make yourself look bad. And I don't care what the people say on chatter. If you're not watching the show or dissecting or really getting what's happening, Sydney is not doing anything. Jamie and her are not doing anything. They're just being a girl. Hold on. Let me look into the hallway walk. When I finally saw the two you guys got that hallway walk, baby, let me tell you something. I was like, yes, yes, yes.
And,
oh
and
my
we're both
God.
about the same height, right? And we had that. I need to clip that part, honestly, because
you need to. I
and
love
Jamie's my girl. Outside of the show, she's the first person I talked to.
It's awesome.
She was out here for the weekend when episodes 1 through 3 dropped. She came out here. I talked to her, if not on a daily, weekly basis, since the show aired or since the show.
Wow, I love that.
Like, we're genuine friends. And the whole cast, we have a group chat on Instagram, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I did form genuine connections. And I even told Jamie post-show, I was like, I was a little intimidated by you because you had such a strong presence and I wanted to be friends with you. So I'm so glad that we actually get along and click very well.
I'm so happy for you, both of y'all, for that, because I think you guys are so awesome. Now let's talk about you and Chris, because the narrative is being formed a whole about like the boyfriend or whatever showmans, and that wasn't even happening. Y'all were just cool. I don't know what. Hold on, wait a minute. What? How spicy did the group chat get? Before we get into that, what happened? What did I miss?
Oh my gosh. Everything's all good in the group chat before the shows come out. And then, of course, as episodes are being released and we're seeing the confessionals and whatnot, people are doing podcasts. Things are being said. So the group chat's it's a little bit tense right now. I'm sure if there was a reunion, we would all have some things to say.
Oh my God. It's kind of like a reunion within a chat, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Get a little bit tense and everything like that. And then it is interesting because you see cast members. I don't engage with negative comments, but I see cast members online that will engage in negative things about other cast members.
Wow.
But kind of feeding into what the fans are saying. And I don't have the energy for that.
You should not. I wouldn't waste my time with that as well. If they want to get in there, I would leave it there.
The game was personal. It wasn't.
It's business. It's business.
I just met you. We're there for $1 million. We can hang out like afterwards.
Okay, so let's get back to Chris, who they're trying to act like that was your boo thing, but that was actually your friend. So talk about that, please. They try to use that as an excuse as well. Oh, when they tried to do that vote, I remember I was sitting there and Kyle was like, "Oh, you're doing that because you want to, show." I forgot how. I'm not saying verbatim, but trying to say pretty much that's your show, man. So you don't want to get rid of her. He was like, "Wait, what?" So go ahead and talk your talk, Mama. Go ahead.
So Chris and I, like I said, a lot of nonverbal communication. We're on the same page for a lot of things. He had a lot of really good reads. His mistake was not telling me he voted for Sam, period.
Right.
And so there was never anything there. There was never obviously we were the two single. We were single and we're in the same age range. So there was
and attractive. Yes.
And attractive. So they're going to kind of, play with it a little bit. And Chris had some very nice compliments about me.
Period. That's me.
Thank you. The man has eyes, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
And I like to tease him about that. But we're actually really good friends in real life also. Kyle, Chris, and Jamie came out. We had a blast. It was so much fun. But it was never anything more than strategy and friendship and alliance.
Right. See, they were using that to me as an excuse to try to do something, child. They just wanted to say something. And I just was like, y'all, wake up. Y'all are just not seeing what's going on. I thought you, Chris, and Jamie's on
the same episodes that I saw, because when I go through some of the stuff online, I'm like, did we not watch the same show?
Girl, I don't think they did. To me, I don't understand what they saw. And then why wasn't people seeing Lydia as a threat? She had the same stoic face the entire time. I don't understand how nobody didn't see Lydia. Lydia was like conniving.
Face that she doesn't give anything away like that. I know she was trying to do the sweet grandma, and I'm looking back in her face. She has a better RBF than I do.
Wait, Corey. Oh wow, see, that's surprising to me about Corey. Really, that's okay. So what does that even mean? That he said he loves you? Like you trying to be funny or something like that? Does Corey trying to be funny or what?
I think so. Corey, there was one moment where we figured out that Sam was a millionaire because I said something about Chris said, and Corey cuts me off. He goes, "That he loves you," and I'm like, "No, like that's focus here. Why is everybody getting so caught up in me and Chris and things that are never even happening? Like, let's refocus here, right?" Which is funny because Corey's alliance with Cara ended up costing him $1 million in the end.
100%, 100%. You better talk it. It did. I'm
Yep.
sorry. You were so like it's to me. I thought they had more of a showmance than you two. To be honest, I'm sorry. I have to call it out. I felt like those two had a showmance, and y'all did not. Y'all were friends. It was very obvious. He let her do whatever. He pretty much let her win. So don't tell me nothing about Chris and her.
That when she told him that she threw the challenge, and okay, you know what? I'm not surprised because every single consensus was I do not want to go against Sydnee in the finals.
But Sydney, throwing a challenge is not respectable in a game. And I'm telling you this right now because two people threw a challenge. It was her and Lydia. And I can't respect that. If you're going to play a game with somebody, you play it, you either win or lose, cool. But to sabotage somebody else's game shows weakness that you can't handle that person, period.
Yeah, it was hard. I'm not going to lie. Knowing I was so close in the final four and just watching her lay there and know this was it because I was never going to convince the other two. I tried. I did fight. I got it together. I had my moment of anger and I was like, okay, well, I'm still going to try. And knowing I did everything I could and played the game that I wanted to, that was all I could think. That was all I could do.
And that part was actually sad. If she would have just played the game and she won it because she won it, I would have expected that more. But for her just to lay there, because she didn't want you to win, I just thought, oh man, I lost a lot of respect. I did. I didn't like that. So
but
I don't
to
know.
be the most dangerous player in the house that nobody thinks that they can be in the finals, I mean, I'll take that title.
Oh yeah, you got that title, but I still really want you to have the opportunity to win. Like I would love to see you on another show or something where people are just going to play and be competitive, not like just fall down as that.
Netflix's ears.
No, it's going to happen because you are a competitor and you also what we call a gamer or a competitor. I see you on other things and I want to see you win without sabotage. I want you to have the opportunity and I hope you do get that. You deserve it.
Yeah, if I lose, I would rather I lost by my own merit than something else.
Period. So do you have any regrets? I always ask everybody this, but do you have any regrets at all about the show?
So the only regret I have, my $1 million mistake, was letting my emotions get the best of me and voting for Chris. Now, my vote would have tied up him and Sam. We still needed Corey to vote for Sam as well. But I think the tie would have had additional twists that Lauren and I didn't. And keeping Chris would have kept the numbers more so on my side. And it would have been a whole different game, I think, because Sam would have gone. That's one of Cara's alliances. Who knows what would have happened between Corey and Cara? It would have been Chris, me, Jamie, and then Kyle was on Chris's team. So it would have been 4 versus 2 kind of, and we would have had the numbers. I think the whole game would have changed. I think the final 4 probably would have ended up being Chris, Kyle, me, and Jamie.
Oh wow, and that would have been so good. Oh
Really
man.
good one.
So, Mama, thank you for your time. I really appreciate you, Mama. You are everything I thought you would be. You're awesome. You're a beautiful person inside and out. People are gonna come for you, but girl, like you said, they're coming for you because they're hating on you because you got the good, you got the juice. That's what it is. It's just hate.
I want to thank you for asking such thoughtful questions that nobody else has asked me. I've had such a great time doing the podcast, but I haven't been given these types of questions from my perspective. And this was
wow. Oh my God. Thank you for telling me that. That means a lot to me. This is kind of stuff, those words mean a lot to me because I've been doing this over 10 years and I'm trying to get to this goal I want to get to. But it's important to me when I interview cast members and they tell me that I'm different from other people. I eat that for breakfast. I love that. So thank you so much.
Feel like on the show, right? I'm like, none of you have asked me if anything about myself. Also, my challenge was to get people to ask if I'm okay. So thank you for asking me if I'm okay. If I'm okay. And
I cannot. It was the hand. It was the towel around the hand for me. Okay. Oh my God, I'm crying. Okay, Mama. Oh, Mama, thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed this so much. Oh man, you're awesome. Tony, you're awesome as well, Mama. Thank you so much, baby. You have a great day. Enjoy yourself. I will talk to you next time, baby. I'll see you on Instagram.
Thanks,
Oh, hold on, wait, real quick. Your website, real quick. Your website. Tell them
Okay,
about your website real fast before we get off here.
you guys, so anybody can follow me Instagram and TikTok, Sydnee with 2 E's .Faulkner. Also, my website, Sid Liana. That's where you can reach out to me about. A lot of people are asking about my workout routine. I do custom workouts. I do macro consulting. We talk about mind, body, spirit, like getting everything right. I do work exclusively with women right now. So,
hey, it is what it is. All right, Mama. I thank you so much for your time. You have a great day, baby girl. This is Cameshiareviews, guys. The queen of reality TV. Oh, I can't talk. Y'all know what to do. Period. One thing I want you guys to know, and that nothing that will never change about this, I am the queen of reality TV. Don't get it twisted and don't doubt it. It is what it is.